we do here is go back.
Let's talk with Tina.
Have you ever been in a conversation where halfway through you suddenly realize, wait a minute, am I having a conversation or am I recording a podcast episode that nobody asked for? Don't worry, I've been there too. I love people, I love connecting, I love sharing stories and helping others, and sometimes my excitement gets ahead of me. But over time, especially through my experience in sales and marketing, I learned something really important. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in a conversation isn't saying more, it's listening more. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Welcome to Let's Talk with Tina, the podcast where we have real conversations about personal growth, business, relationships, mindset, and becoming the best version of ourselves, one conversation at a time. I'm Tina, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about the power of speaking less. Whether you're driving to work, folding laundry, taking a walk, or just relaxing with a cup of coffee, thank you for spending these next few minutes with me. Today's episode is about the power of speaking less. Now, before you think I'm telling you to stop talking, don't worry. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about learning when to speak, learning how to listen, learning how to make your words carry weight instead of just filling silence. Because here's something I learned that completely changed the way I communicate. The more I stopped trying to be interesting, the more interested I became in other people, the better every area of my life became. And I didn't learn this from a self-help book. I learned it in sales. Now, if you've never worked in sales before, you probably picture someone who's constantly talking. Someone trying to convince people, someone with a perfect pitch. Honestly, that's exactly what I thought when I first got into sales and marketing. I believed I had to know all the answers. I thought I had to keep talking. I thought if there was even 1 second of silence, I was losing the customer. So what did I do? I talked and talked and talked. I would explain every feature, every benefit, every option. I would answer questions people hadn't even asked yet. I was trying so hard to prove that I knew what I was talking about. And you know what happened? People looked overwhelmed. Some looked confused, some became quiet, some simply said, "Let me think about it." And I couldn't understand why. I knew the product, I knew the business, I was confident, so why wasn't I connecting? Then one day I watched someone online. I was finding a way and trying to learn who had been in sales for so long. And I expected this person to have some incredible sales presentations, right? Some secret scripts, some magic words. Instead, they barely talked. I remember thinking, wait, that's it? They asked questions, then they listened, really listened. No interrupting, no rushing, no trying to prove how smart they were, just listening. When they finally spoke, every sentence mattered. Everything they said was directly connected to what the customer had already shared. The customer smiled, relaxed, opened up even more, and customer made a decision that felt comfortable, not forced. I remember driving home that day thinking, I've been doing this backwards no matter how confident I am. See, I thought communication meant speaking well, but communication is really about understanding people. And understanding doesn't happen while you're talking. It happens while you are listening. That lesson didn't just make me better in sales, but it made me better with people, because here's something I want to share. People don't remember every word you said, they remember how you made them feel. Think about the conversations you've enjoyed the most. Was it because someone gave an incredible speech? Probably not. It was probably because you felt comfortable. You felt heard. You felt like someone cared about what you had to say. And isn't that what all of us want? To be heard and understood? To know that someone is actually listening instead of just waiting for their turn to speak? You know what's funny? Sometimes people will apologize to me after they've been talking for a while. They will stop and say, "Oh my gosh, I've been talking this whole time. I'm so sorry." And I always smile because that's okay. I'm learning. I'm learning that sometimes the greatest gift you can give another human being isn't advice. It isn't motivation. It isn't fixing their problems. Sometimes the greatest gift is simply listening. And I'll be honest, that makes me feel good. That's something special about knowing someone walked away from a conversation feeling lighter.
Let's talk, let's chat, where the blues meets the spark. Tina Minerali, she's lighting up the dark. So tune in, lean in, the magic's on soon. Let's talk with Tina. Come.
Not because I had all the answers, but because they finally felt heard. And I think we underestimate how powerful that really is. Because in today's world, everyone wants to be seen, to go viral, wants attention. Everyone wants their opinion to be heard. But very few people are willing to become great listeners. And that's exactly what makes it such a powerful skill. I want to tell you about one conversation that completely changed the way I see listening. When I first started really focusing on sales, I thought I had people figured out before I even knocked on their door. I would pull up to a house and immediately start creating a whole story in my head. Oh, this house looks like this, so they probably won't be interested. Or, wow, this neighborhood looks expensive. They're probably going to say no. Or I would notice that they were dressed casually. Maybe they had an old sweatpants. Maybe their hair wasn't done. And immediately, my brain would start making assumptions. Now, I have to blame a little bit of this on where I come from. I'm from Albania. And listen, if you're Albanian, you already know what I'm about to say. We don't just wake up. We wake up and we prepare for a fashion show. It doesn't matter where we're going. Wedding? Absolutely. Coffee? Of course. The grocery stores to buy tomatoes? Better have your best outfit on because apparently the apples are judging us too. I grew up in a culture where looking put together was just normal. You don't leave the house looking like just rolled out of bed. Meanwhile, here in America, people wear pajamas to Walmart like they're walking a runaway. And again, I expect the confidence, and I do that too sometimes because I do feel comfortable and, life is also like super fast here and you don't have time all the time to get ready. I do put that time for myself because, again, it's my culture, but also I like to look good. But trust me, I have days that I don't care, and I like that version of myself as well. I respect it. When I first started in sales, I realized I was still carrying those habits with me without even knowing it. I was judging people before I even gave them the chance to speak. I wasn't trying to be mean, because that's not even in my nature. I wasn't trying to disrespect anyone. It was just unconscious. I was making assumptions based on appearance. And you know what? I was wrong. So many times. Some of the nicest people I've ever met opened the door wearing pajamas. Some of the biggest sales I've ever made came from houses I almost convinced myself weren't worth knocking on. Some of the people I thought would be the easiest conversations ended up being the hardest. That taught me something really important. People are not their clothes. People are not their houses. People are not their first impression. Everyone has a story, just as we said in my podcast, that you cannot see. And if you judge before you listen, you will never hear it. But that wasn't my only habit. I also had another one. I never let people finish talking. Well, I still do that sometimes, but people who knows me, they know that I need to finish my sentence. Period.
Oh, let's talk. Tina's got the spark. Words light the room like a fire in the dark. El Tina's groove gonna move your heart. Let's talk, let's shine. El Tina Mineral each time.
I know, not my proudest moment. I thought I had to be the dominant one in the conversation. I thought if I talked more, I'd sound more confident. If I answered quickly, I would sound more knowledgeable. If I controlled the conversation, I would control the outcome. Turns out, it was just interrupting people. And come on, nobody likes being interrupted. Not even me.
Let's talk, let's shine.
I started realizing that I wasn't actually listening. I was waiting for my turn to speak. Those are two completely different things. Listening isn't waiting to respond. Listening is trying to understand. Once I made that shift, everything changed. I started hearing what customers actually wanted instead of what I assumed they wanted. I understood their concerns better. I asked better questions. I stopped arguing. I stopped trying to convince everyone. And you know what happened? There was less tension, less resistance, less fighting, and the conversations became easier. People relaxed, I relaxed, and instead of feeling like a sales pitch, it started feeling like two human beings having a conversation. And believe it or not, that's when I started getting better results.
Let's talk with Tina.
Not because I had a better script, not because I learned some secret sales technique, but because I finally learned how to shut up for a minute. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I have definitely grown. I listen more, I interrupt less, but let's be honest, I'm still Sagittarius, right? Every now and then I'm like, I know exactly where this conversation is going. Let me take over.
Let's talk with Tina.
Then I have to remind myself, Tina, let them finish. We're working on it. It's a work in progress, but I've learned that listening usually gets me much farther than talking ever did. And before I let you go, I want to leave you with this. No matter what, one thing about me is that I love taking care of people. If you've listened to this episode, you've probably realized that sometimes my need to take charge comes from a good place. It's not because I want to control conversations. It's because I care, I want to help, I want to guide people, coach in the right direction, and see them succeed. But one of the greatest lessons I've learned is that helping someone doesn't always start with talking. Sometimes it starts with listening, because when people feel heard, they feel valued. And when they feel valued, they're much more open to receiving guidance. So this week, speak with intention, listen with your whole heart, and remember, your voice is powerful, but your ability to make someone feel heard is unforgettable. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on Let's Talk with Tina. Until next time, be kind, keep growing, keep listening, and take care of yourself and the people around you. This is Tina, and you're listening. Let's Talk with Tina.
Let's talk with Tina, where hearts convene. So grab a chair, stay a while with Tina's voice. You'll leave with a smile.